All right, if you are a faithful follower of my channel, then you know that I don't do a lot of food and recipe related videos. But the other night we were making this beautiful rack of ribs here, and I came across this. There are a lot of recipes out there that said remove this membrane from your rack of ribs before you do the rub, before you smoke it or cook it, however you're going about cooking it. So I wanted to put out a video that showed you how I successfully removed the membrane of the baby back ribs on the underside of the ribs in one go. But first we're going to go ahead and get that rub going. I followed a kind of a generic recipe, one of those that got great reviews on Google if you just Google like ribs recipe, smoking ribs recipe or whatnot. But the first thing that I did obviously was take it out of the plastic, and there's kind of no way you're gonna get down and dirty with this. You're gonna, you can kind of dance around it delicately, but you're gonna get, juice on your hands. There's no way around that, I don't think. You can certainly put on gloves, but you just got to take the plunge. So I'm going to dab up all the juice and flip it over on, so it's underside there. The concave side is facing upwards. You can see there's the kind of the meat side, so to speak. That's the good stuff. And I'm just going to pat it dry to get some of that blood and all that good stuff off of there as much as possible. So this is basically the procedure. Do you see what's in my right hand? I have kind of a cheese or a butter spread. It's not really a knife. I don't know what you call it. It's one of my wife's. She's got about 10,000 of these different utensils for parties, right? One for the cheese platter, one for the dip, one for the whatever. So the important thing is it has no sharp edges. Can you see how nice and round that is? All right, so I'm going to take the scissors here, kind of a dull scissors, and I'm going to cut away a lot of just the pure light pink, right? Some of that ligament and fat. Get away as much of that as you can. And we're not big ribs cookers, but we smoked some. This is our third time smoking them, and they turned out to be really, really good. And anyway, we're not pros here, but hopefully this video can help you. So check out what I am doing after I get rid of a lot of that fat and ligament. I'm going to take that butter or that cheese end of the knife, and I'm just going to gently lift up. I'm going to create, and this membrane is pretty darn tough, but it will tear. It will tear. You can definitely get the sense for that. It's like taking off a packaging sticker off of a package. If you've ever done that before, you can kind of rip up the corners. You get a sense that it's gonna, as soon as you start like tearing it, right? It's just gonna, it's not gonna come off in one piece. But if you do this correctly, it will. I mean, you can see my technique here. You kind of feel it. You kind of wrestle it. You move your thumbs a little closer to the point that you're tearing up, as opposed to creating a lot of slack and then tearing. And then you'll take your tool and you can kind of lift it up a little bit more and just kind of work your way this way. Notice how close my thumbs are to where I'm tearing, right? I kind of regrip several times. And it is a little slippery, so this is what I was saying. You got to get down and dirty. But look at this. One fell swoop. First time. Well, like I said, I've done this about 3 times before, but it didn't tear at all. It came off all in one piece. Look at that. So that is how you remove the membrane. Again, you can cut away a lot of this fatty excess stuff as much as your heart desires. A lot of people probably prefer that, saying it hosts a lot of flavor and whatnot. To me, that's a quick route to a heart attack, so I do try to get rid of it, as much of it as I can. And from that point on, so in case you haven't noticed, getting that membrane up allows you to maximize your flavor when you go to apply the rub. So we'll get it stirred up here. And yes, I apply the rub to the underside and the top side of this. And if that membrane's there, then it's going to kind of prevent it, in theory, from saturating or getting a little deeper into the meat, right? So I like to, I mean, the theory's strong, and I think that the flavor also, I don't know, if you gave me a blind taste test, maybe I couldn't taste the difference, but you might as well do it right if you are doing this, right? And that, I think, in my opinion, necessitates removing that membrane so that it's not blocking 50% of that rub that you're applying. So go ahead and apply the rest of the rub there to the top side as well and to the sides. Get it all in there. Kind of rub, you know, your hands are just gross after this. Meat juice and spices and wow. But that's kind of what it should look like, and we'll stop the video there. Hopefully this has helped you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more cool videos like this, and click that like button if this has helped you out. I would appreciate it. Thanks.